Alcohol is a cunning, powerful thing. It tricks the alcoholic into thinking, I can handle it this time. One is too many and a million is not enough. And it was a living hell. I see the BODi commercial come on, BODi X. It not only improved my life, it probably saved it.
Hi, and welcome to the BODi Experience, where we talk to people who have had an amazing journey in life to improve their life by making certain lifestyle changes. So today, we're talking to Brandon Giles from Orange Beach, Alabama. And let's bring him on. Brandon, come on. As you described it, you are a professional singer and piano player celebrating 4.5 years of sobriety as of May 2024. Congratulations. But as you described it, it was a dark road to get to this point where everything's going right. Tell me what was going on.
It was, and thank you for having me here. And I started playing piano and singing professionally around 2000, and playing in the bars every night and traveling the world and being on tour. Just led from beer drinking at night to and that was about 10 years of that. And then the last 5 years on top of it, it was more and more, and becoming physically addicted to alcohol, where you have to have it to function, to leave the house, to wake up, to go to Walmart. What 6 beers did 2 years ago needed more than the withdrawal when you try to quit was just teeth gnashing. If you've ever seen the Ray Charles movie where he tries to get off heroin on himself, it's close to that a lot of days, just days in bed with wet sheets. And we were on the road somewhere, and it was somewhere in Georgia late at night. This was probably 5 years before I really got serious about getting sober. And I remember being in that motel room about 3 o'clock in the morning, probably drinking beer. And I see the BODi commercial come off, BODi X. And as soon as I got home, I ordered, that's back when they were on DVDs, and you ordered the package of DVDs and got those. And a few months later, I stopped drinking for probably 7 months, the longest I had ever gone out of my adult life, and did BODi X twice. And I didn't get and it was probably a 90-minute workout by the time I had to take breaks and catch up. But even after playing, getting home at 1 o'clock in the morning, if I hadn't done it that day, I did it. And it
Good for you.
Felt great. And it kept me sober for probably 7 months, that structure in my life. And really got in great shape. Unfortunately, that didn't last, and I was a slow learner and went back down the alcohol path, and alcohol and just eating terrible. You know, when you after you've been drinking all night, you go out and you eat and not care about appearance and health. And finally, I just had enough. When I turned about right around 40. The wings came off of the plane. I couldn't do it anymore. My mind and body were breaking down. The serotonin and the GABA chemicals are not being made in your brain, replaced by alcohol, depression, anxiety, and it was a living hell, basically. And decided to submit and go to rehab for 30 days in South Haven, Mississippi, at a rehab that was in an old motel building. Not fun. It wasn't the Malibu commercials you see on TV, but I was ready. And the entire 30 days, it was focused on, it didn't focus on any physical health. And I knew that would be a big key to me turning my life around. The physical health was as important to me as the mental health, and to remain sober. So after I got out, the first thing I remember that BODi X that I had from 5 years before. That was going to be a tool I had planned to use in my recovery, and started doing some research. And I'm 5'11", and I was up to 194 pounds. Just there's pictures on. I post them a lot. So I knew I had to get the weight off first. And so after doing some research, I found the heavy cardio workouts such as T25 and Transform 20 would be the best way to start, by just getting all that 40 pounds off, 30 pounds off. And I did, and it worked. I did it. And I dropped, I think, 45 pounds from 194 down to about 145. My goal was to get all that weight off, but I was not really doing it the right way, nutrition wise. I wasn't eating. I wasn't fueling my body the right way. After I dropped the weight, I got into some of the meal programs in Shakeology and said, I've lost weight, but I don't feel I look like I wanted to look. And so that's when I found Body Beast, and started with the workout, the lifting, the heavier lifting, and really got into Shakeology and started studying nutrition, how to grow your muscles the right way. And within the first 6 weeks, I don't know if my body was like a sponge from, not fueling it the right way. I gained 10 pounds of muscle. And then within the first 3 months, probably up to 15 to 20 pounds of muscle gain, and really started to fill out. And that's when I really started. When you start seeing those kind of results is when I got really inspired to do it every day, commit long term. And it not only improved my life, it probably saved it from the restructuring. As a musician, I don't have to be at a job every day. So being at that gym or in the corner of my room over there with hand weights and a bench, it gave me responsibility and somewhere to be and structure in my life and something to look forward to. It's a total mind reset. It gives you the confidence to face anything, because still struggled with anxiety, and you think back when you're having that little panic attacks, like, you know what Sagi put me through the other day, and it didn't kill me. So this little panic attack is nothing when you can knock out that leg day the way he works you. It gives you a great confidence boost, and when you feel good about yourself, it improves every aspect of your life, no matter what you're doing.
It's just an incredible success story, but I can't just jump over the fact that you did a couple of rounds of P90X, were sober for 6 or 7 months. So you had the victory. How did that slip through your hands? And man, that had to be demoralizing to let it go. Like, how did you manage to find the confidence in yourself and the faith in yourself that you could bring it back after you'd been sort of at the top of the mountain, and then you sort of slid back down? Like, a lot of people would just throw in the towel at that point, never think that they could get it back, even with rehab. How did you manage to do that?
Alcohol is a cunning, powerful thing. It tricks the alcoholic into thinking, I can handle it this time. I can have a couple. For most of us, we can't. And rehab gave you a lot of good tools to realize that one is too many and a million is not enough. For me, I can't pick up the one. So I tried it, and it led right back to where you would think, with even greater alcohol dependency and relying on it. When you think, I think that's where a lot of people struggle and go wrong, is I can handle it this time. I can drink social. Friday and Saturday, I can drink it, and many can. If whatever works for the individual person is good for me. And a lot of alcoholics, you can't do that, and so it takes a few of those stumbling blocks to realize that can't be a part of my life if I'm going to live in a healthy, productive way.
So you're still performing?
Every week. When are you going to come see me?
All right. I would love to. I would love to, but if I'm imagining, so you're still in these ecosystems, probably many of the same contacts and musicians who, you were a part of the lifestyle. Part of the fun is this atmosphere. You're in the entertainment business. How do you manage to stay in the environment and hold on to your lifestyle change? Because I would imagine you're surrounded by people who are like, oh, come on, just one. They haven't been to the dark side and back. So, hey, come on, just one. This is what we do. And then here you are sort of imposing this different lifestyle into that scenario that some people might resent. Some people might even fight you on it. And so not only do you got to fight to do it yourself, because I know how hard that is, because I don't automatically do it. So you're fighting to do it yourself, but you've also got this environment around you that's begging you to go back to the old lifestyle because that was fun for them. How do you manage to keep sober and in your livelihood that you got to be in this environment?
I was really shocked and surprised at how few people, once they know that you're sober, will try to press you and bring you a drink. And when they do, I said, I don't drink. I've quit drinking. Thank you. They 9 times out of 10, they really respect it. And props to you, brother. You do it. I do it because I have not only for myself, but I have a lot of eyes watching me. And I know that there are people out there that might be inspired by what I was able to do and continue to do. I'm never cured. I'm always cognizant that I've never got it beat. I'm one drink away, but I have bandmates. I have friends that are sober that started after me that look up to that. So as trying to set an example as a great motivator to do it. And then when you get tired or worn out or something's upset you, that's kind of the time that you might, or I personally start thinking, I need some relief from this. But then your mind goes back to that absolute hell, that laying in bed sweating and the depression and there's a teeth gnashing anxiety. And when you think back to that, if you've ever had food poisoning and something made you just as sick as you've ever been in your life, and if you think about that food that you ate might give you just a horrible sick feeling, that's kind of what I think back to, and that's the feeling that I get when I think about having that drink. Now, after I got out of rehab, it was a few months, and then COVID hit. So I had the opportunity when everything was shut down to sort of ease back into life, and I didn't have to jump right back into playing in bars. I did a few times, and then everything closed down. But I was afforded about a year or two to kind of ease back into life, and I was grateful to be able to do that. There was probably a hand bigger than you and I guiding me on that. But to set an example for others, and I, as a piano player, I'm loading those pianos there, heavy pianos, and I joke I should have been a harmonica player. And people say, yeah, I guess that's what keeps you in shape. I think no, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work that goes into it to be able to do that. So
you've been doing it now, what, 5 years? You've been working out with BODi programs?
It's been 4.5 of since sobriety, and then the probably 6 months of BODi X. That was a few years before that. So total in all, yeah.
So that always impresses me and surprises me a little bit, because look, I think that BODi programs are a great gateway for people who don't love it yet, and they want to find a program to go from day 1 to day 90 or whatever, and feel that success of completing a program. And then once they complete that program, they often will go to a gym, and because now they've got the lifestyle, or but there's some people who really go all the way and dive into the ecosystem, which it seems like you have. So once you've found Body Beast, found the nutrition plans, found Shakeology, now how do you interact with the content? I'm just interested to know how you go about it, because sort of now you're maintaining, or maybe you're setting new goals. I'm just interested in how you're living the BODi ecosystem now that you seem to have some control of the situation.
It just kind of incorporated as a part of your day. It's like brushing your teeth. You get up and you do it. You don't think about it. It's and it's easy. I had friends in town that had a personal trainer and spent $1,200 and really didn't get too much out of it. And I said, "What am I doing wrong?" Well, personal trainer is probably going to teach you. Now, there's some really good ones out there, but they're going to teach you what you need to know at the time. But you're not going to stay with them the rest of your life. And they probably aren't going to teach you how to do it by yourself, because they want to make that money. So with the BODi programs, you've got it at your fingertip. And I think it was 2,300 workouts a few years ago. It's probably a lot more than that now. So the easiest part of it is you press play and you start, whether it's in your living room, but that's also the hardest part of it. The actual work is not that hard. The hard part is just starting it. Make up your mind to do it. The work is not that hard. You're not, like the bodybuilders in there 7 hours a day. It doesn't take that. It's sometimes 45 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you've got. Anything you do with it is I tell people, "Oh, I can't do that." And I said, anything. If you go down and do 10 minutes of it, you're making laps around the person that's sitting at home on the couch right now.
What are you using right now? Like, are you following one program? You working on just hand picking a la carte from the platform, or are you in the middle of a program?
For the last maybe 2.5 years, it's been just Body Beast over and over. As soon as I'm done with it, you start it again. That works for me. I enjoy it. I can quote every line Sagi says. You gonna beat me up, Scotty? Oh, I talk to him. All day. And I like the way he does it. It fits with me. It fits with my schedule. I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. So I keep that one on repeat. My girlfriend does one of the morning routines, and she enjoys that. That's some of the beauty of. And I tell people all the time, every week, what did you do? Body Beast. So I don't get paid for it. I post it all day on Facebook. And if you find one that you like my girlfriend does not want to build big muscles and do that, but she likes the hip hop dance video. So there's something for everybody. There's something for every level. They've got the modifiers, but you need to find a program that you enjoy doing, or you won't do it. It's got to be something you look forward to.
Yeah. See, if I couldn't do that. I couldn't repeat one over and over again, because I would get tired of it eventually. Like, I have to go find out, because of my role, I'm sort of working in the future a little bit to see what might the next thing be, because since I never make it a routine, I'm always fighting my own demons, whether to do it or not. So, so I'm working out in the future about what we might do, but, and in the middle of BODi Lava right now, which is a whole new experience, because there's no weights. So I'm just doing primal movements and power yoga just to mix stuff up. And I'm old. I'm 60 years old. So it's helping me just sort of keep everything mobile. And I guess it's different strokes for different folks. I don't want to try to convince you of everything, but it just is interesting. I do know people, one of our board members loves Body Beast. And like he'll go from Body Beast to Lift More, Lift 4, sometimes go to 6 weeks of the work, but right back to Body Beast. That's his home base. And other people like your girlfriend, probably Morning Meltdown 100 is her thing. Have you managed to, like, how do you incorporate your the nutrition into a lifestyle? Again, I can't imagine being in the entertainment business and bars and traveling and all that and have to navigate nutrition. Like that would be the ultimate pain in the ass to me. How do you do it?
I use an app to count the calories, and I know kind of roughly the protein. 150 grams of protein a day, and then that's basically about 50% of my diet, and the other 25 will be split between healthy fats and healthy carbs too. And like doing the same work, I'm kind of a creature of habit. I enjoy eating the same oatmeal and protein powder, the same thing for breakfast every day, and so I'm kind of set in my ways with it, but I use some of the apps to track calories, and I have that cheat day. I love the cheat days. I think it's probably good for you, and to mix up your metabolism, to throw in that day where you're eating. And it's a pizza and 12 donuts and milkshake, and I get sick as a dog every time, and I swear I'm not going to do it, but right back at it Monday.
You're kidding, right? You're not serious. 12 donuts. This is some sort of entertainment hyperbole.
Well, it's close sometimes throughout the day. They'll throw in a couple. I try to order maybe 6 on my cheat day, and then which is I try to keep it at every 2 weeks. So just throw it off, eat the pizza and the pasta one day.
Have you written a song for Sagi? Have you written an ode to the Beast himself or anything? Have we invaded your creative flow yet?
Every day.
Really?
Every day. I'm driving my girlfriend crazy with it because we're right in the house. She's usually working next to us. I'm talking to him. I'm singing to him every day. I want to meet him one day.
Yeah, well, come to some of the events. He shows up sometimes. But we can arrange that. But look, how would you? I've seen you on I've seen you on the Reddit groups and the Facebook groups, and I really appreciate how you support people and how I think you got a lot of courage and you're very vulnerable out there, and you just show people how it is, and you don't sugarcoat it. And that's frankly why I saw one of your posts and I was like super impressed. And I said, we got to get this guy. He's living the BODi experience, and I want to talk about it. So one of the questions I like to ask is, what advice would you've had for Brandon 10 years ago, or the guy that was 7 months into P90X, or, like I said at the beginning of this when we were just chatting, I'm sure there's somebody who feels hopeless, who could be watching this, and they're super impressed with what you've done, and they don't think it's possible for them. They're fighting their own demons. They're dealing with addiction, and there it is, right in front of them, waiting to be confronted. What do you say to somebody like that? How do you help move them forward?
If somebody I knew the entire time I was drinking that it's not the right thing to do. Saying people could have talked till they're blue in the face, and I wouldn't have listened. But I would have watched someone's lifestyle and noticed them being an example of how to live. I had a guitar player that was 15 years sober, and while I was not ready at the time to get sober, I saw him do it, and saw him live the sober lifestyle and play gigs. And he would go to the zoo in the mornings in whatever town we were playing in, and have coffee while I'm in bed hungover. And it was in the back of my mind. So I don't know if it's anything that you could tell someone, but it certainly, there's an example that you can live and let others see it. Of course, there is hope. I'm 48 years old, and we do a high energy rock and roll boogie, kind of like this show, piano show, where I literally flip on my head and do a handstand and play the piano with my feet upside down at 48 years old, which I couldn't do at 35. I'm in better shape now because the healthy lifestyle, it makes every part of your life better.
Come on, man. We got to get footage. You got any footage of that we can put in this podcast? I got to see this.
Yeah. I can send you a bunch of videos. Light it on fire.
All right, you guys.
Light the piano on fire. Play it backwards upside
I got to see this. You know what I got to do? I got to get you. How do I get you to do a rendition of "Feel Good Summer"? our summer theme song. I want the Brandon Giles cover of "Feel Good Summer."
I'll work on it.
That is so good. All right. Well, look, man, I really appreciate your coming on here and helping us just show people what's possible. It's such a silly little thing, meeting this platform of workout videos, and then, you workout videos. What's the big deal? And then you see somebody completely overcome mountains of trouble to get their life back on track. And you give this business meaning for me. And I really am so grateful that you've shared with us today and that you share with people on social media to just help other people do the same. So I wish you the best of luck, and I'm so grateful that you shared it with us here today.
Like I said, it not only changed my life, it absolutely helped save it. Just the accountability and the way it makes you feel about yourself. It helps me to stay sober, because you have a lot of time when you're used to drinking, and when you quit, it's like, what are you doing? What structure is your day? What do you replace it with? It's been fantastic, and every single day now, I wouldn't change those bad, horrible days, because I would not appreciate these days and be as grateful for every single day. You wouldn't appreciate the sunny ones if it didn't really storm and rain before. And Beachbody's helped me with that.
That's awesome, man. All right. Well, thank you, Brandon. Look, anybody listening who's ready to start, or you want to help someone, you just need to take action. You need to make your mind up. Like Brandon said, nobody's going to convince you. It's going to be up to you. Just download the BODi app. Check it out. It's free to go. Check out a bunch of workouts. You can get them access to 130 workouts on BODiPreviews.com. That's BODi previews. And just in exchange for your email address, we'll give you access to those workouts and special offers. And hopefully you'll find something that you like, and you'll pick that program. Maybe you'll fall in love with it like Body Beast, like Brandon did, or you'll work your way through the whole catalog like some people do. But something about starting a program and finishing it can be a life changer, and certainly can be a milestone that just is a fun way to mark the year. That's what I'm getting by doing Body Lava right now. I'm just excited to finish this 6 weeks of 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week for 6 weeks. Now, look, there's lots of stories out there like Brandon's. And if you have a great body experience that you'd share, I'd love to hear it. And you can submit those on Instagram at BODi Stories. Okay. And the team will take a look at your submission, and you could get a t-shirt out of it, or maybe even get here on the podcast. Also, if you want updates from me, you can text me. For instance, if you want information on lava, just text the word lava to the phone number 818-650-4369, and or just text me hi, and you'll be in that, and I'll send you special offers from time to time. I try not to spam you, but ultimately we want to help you engage in a life that feels good, where you've got a high, what they call health esteem, where it's not just about the outcome, but it's about managing your life in a way that feels good for you. So this has been a good one. This is a good episode of BODi Experience. I think it's going to help a lot of people. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next time on the BODi Experience.